Lord Brahma. His lifetime is 311 trillion years. He's the father of everyone within this particular universe. In Brahmaloka, there's never a disturbance, never a problem that ever happens. It's the highest planet within this entire universal creation. He's the original receiver of knowledge from Krishna. He's the original guru of the universe. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya Mugyanti Yatsuraya. Yet Brahma, at Brahma Kund, where you'll be going, he offered prayers to Krishna. After he completely humbled himself before Krishna, he actually had a vision of Vrindavan. Everything he was seeing before, he was now seeing with completely different eyes. Now he's Brahma. He has 8 eyes. And those eyes are, they could see anywhere in the universe. He was seeing the trees and the mountains and the landscape and the cows. But after Krishna performed his Brahma Vimohan Leela, which we will speak another night, he became so humble. He actually understood who is Krishna. He actually understood the value of this little cowherd boy. Because Krishna seemed just so simple and ordinary. At that time, he was just, he wasn't even big enough to take care of cows. He just had the calves. And he was playing with his friends and joking with his friends. So Brahma tested him, because even he was bewildered. Because Krishna just seemed so ordinary. He made himself so accessible. Brahma's looking. This is the supreme absolute truth. Brahma's father, the cause of all causes, the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of everything. Parameshwar, Yajna Purusha. And here he saw Krishna sitting on bank of Yamuna with his little friends, and they were all eating their prasad. They all had their little packets of prasad brought from home. And one would say, "Oh, Krishna, this is very, very nice." And he'd take a bite out of it and say, "Try it." He'd take it out of their mouth and give it to Krishna. And Krishna would take it from the cowherd boy's mouth. And he'd eat it and he'd say, "Oh, this is very, very good, very, very good." And then he would eat something and say, "You try this." And Brahma's thinking, this is Yajna Purusha? The demigods? The demigods with folded hands, the most powerful living beings who are controlling the whole universe, they are approaching the Lord and offering the Samaveda, prayers of great reverence before him. And after years and years of offering these prayers, then the Lord comes majestically and blesses them. And these little cowherd boys, they're jumping on his shoulders and they're wrestling with him, and he's jumping on their shoulders and wrestling with them, and they're pretending to be frogs together. One little Gopa would say, "Look at Krishna," and he'd show a frog. And the frog would go, "Choo, choo," jump. And the little boy would pretend he was a frog and jump, jump. And then Krishna would go next to his friend and jump just like a little frog. And he did it so much like a frog. Ultimately, Krishna creates the frogs. Ultimately, not only, Krishna says in Gita, "I am the ability in man," he's also the ability in frogs. He's the ability in everything. Krishna gives every bird the power to fly. Krishna gives all these little lizards and spiders and insects the mystical power of walking up walls. He gives the power of the monkeys to jump from one branch to the next. But in Vrindavan, he's studying the frog, and he's jumping. And Brahma's saying this. This is my Lord. Let me check this out. So he took all the calves and he took all the cowherd boys for 1 year. And then he said, let me see what effect I have had on them. And when he returned, everything was completely normal. All the calves and all the boys were just doing everything. He didn't realize Krishna manifested as each and every one of them. What happened? He would check to see in the cave. He put them all to sleep. They were still there. He came back and they were here. He went there and they were there. Is Krishna, within a second, taking them from here and putting them there, or he was really bewildered. And then every calf and every boy manifested a form of Narayan, the supreme, majestic Lord of all existence. And around every Narayan, and there were millions of Narayans, and around each one were all the demigods, and all the rishis, and all the sages worshiping them. Then he was really bewildered. He couldn't even move. He was like a statue. When it came to such a point, Krishna understood. He fulfilled his purpose of transforming Brahma. Then everything disappeared, and all that was left was Gopal, standing with a lump of yogurt and fruit salad in his hand, just very innocently looking, where is my calves? Where is my friends? Brahma completely humbled himself. Brahma, for the first time, understood the sweetness of Krishna is infinitely greater than his majestic power, because it facilitates the deepest love. And Vrindavan is the place where Krishna facilitates that love. When he completely humbled himself with gratitude, then his vision of Vrindavan was transformed. He saw every tree as a kalpabriksha. He saw every particle of dust as chintamani, more valuable than all the jewels of the heavenly worlds of his Brahmaloka or even Vaikuntha. He saw each cow as a kamadhenu, a wish-fulfilling cow. He saw everything as the spiritual world. The apparently most ordinary things, that is what Vrindavan composes of, he was able to actually understand how totally saturated with love, with prem, with bhav, every particle of Vrindavan was. He wept, he cried in ecstasy. And he went and surrendered by placing his heads at the feet of Krishna. And he prayed, let me be a mountain in your Vrindavan, where you and Sri Radharani and your gopas and your gopis and all your devotees and your cows and your peacocks and your monkeys and all of your devotees, let me serve in such a way that everyone is on my head. Let the mountains be my heads. And Barsana is actually Lord Brahma. those 4 mountains, Mangar, Vilasgar, Brishabhanu's palace, Kushabihari temple. These 4 places are the 4 heads of Brahma. Now somebody may think, how is that possible? For Brahma, everything is possible. But most of all, it's not just how it is possible. The real question is, why is it? Why is it possible? Because Lord Brahma considered to take such a humble role of just having the feet of all of the devotees of Krishna, every bird, every animal, every person, on his head, so he could actually facilitate their pastimes by being nice mountains to play on and have loving exchanges, was a greater aspiration than being the Lord of the universe. That is how he appreciated Vrindavan. And we are given these stories so that we could actually get a glimpse of how to appreciate the value of Sri Vrindavan Dham, the value of pure bhakti, pure devotional service.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.